Hey everybody, welcome back to Bountiful Gardens. Joe is off this week enjoying the beautiful weather with his family, and we hope that you've been able to do the same thing. Now that September is only a few days away, this is the perfect time to start thinking about fall planting. And this week, we're going to be covering a few plants that look great in a late summer garden. This week, we're talking about, you guessed it, ferns, as well as Hakone Grass and sweet autumn Clematis. So, get ready to learn, because we're about to start with ferns. If you're looking to put a shade garden and trying to decide what plants you want to put in, look no further than ferns, the perfect addition to any shady spot in your yard. Ferns are an enormous class of plants going all the way back to the prehistoric age with the dinosaurs. And that said, they've had millions of years to adapt and change, giving you a variety of shapes, sizes, and even colors. Ferns in general like moist, well-draining soils and do well in partial sun to full shade. Another thing that makes ferns really cool is that unlike most ornamental plants that have flowers and seeds, ferns, similar to mushrooms, will reproduce via spores. They'll produce the spores on the underside of the leaves, and as the wind blows up against them, it will carry the spores, mixing with other spores of other ferns to create a brand new plant. If you're looking for a unique fern for your garden, look no further than our native ostrich fern or our native sensitive fern. Both ferns prefer moist, shady areas, but what makes them unique is that they have their spores on their own stem, which persist throughout winter, giving them extra interest. Did you know that ferns can be shrubs? Well, let me introduce you to sweet fern. This awesome aromatic plant, smelling a combination of, I'd say vanilla and citrus, grows to about 2 to 4 feet tall and about 4 to 8 feet wide. And unlike most ferns, this fern can tolerate a little bit more of drier soils. If you're looking for a fern for your garden, but you want to break up all the greenery, look no further than autumn Brilliance fern. This fern is great because its new growth comes out in this red-orange color and fades to green as the leaf matures. However, what makes this plant even better is that not only is it drought-tolerant once established, it's semi-evergreen if we have a nice mild winter.
Look like gorgeous fern. It's the oldest plant in our earth. In my country, we have legend. If you find flower of fern, you will be really successful, rich and healthy. Maybe next season, in summer, you find flowers of fern in your garden, and happy gardening.
Here we got a collection of some of my favorite native ferns, such as the cinnamon fern. They require very moist and rich soil. They can get up to anywhere from about 4 to 5 feet usually. Over here is the Christmas fern. What's cool about this one is that it's actually an evergreen. That's another native one that you could expect to find in our deciduous woods all throughout New Jersey. One of the most rarest ones that we have here is called the hart's tongue fern, and it grows in calcium-rich soil where a lot of these other ones require slightly acidic soil.
Hola, bienvenidos a Bountiful Garden en Hillsboro. Estamos nuevamente acá en la sección de ferns, pues la mejor opción de ferns en estos tiempos. Estamos en el área de sombra, es para toda sombra y yo le recomiendo a los clientes cuando vienen acá a buscar las plantas para sombra, les recomiendo a los clientes que es la mejor opción de ferns. Tenemos en diferentes tipos, pueden alrededor mío, tenemos lo mejor de ferns acá en Bountiful Garden.
Perennial ferns come in a variety of sizes, ranging from 1/3 of an inch up to 80 foot. We don't have those because those only live in a tropical rainforest. However, we do have some evergreen varieties and some that die back in the wintertime. Ferns are a wonderful addition to a garden because they spread through rhizomes, not super aggressively, and love to live in dense packs.
Now that you know a little bit more about ferns, I'm sure you could find the perfect one for your garden, and we've got them all here at Bountiful Gardens. Up next is one of our fan favorites here at Bountiful Gardens, Hakone Grass, great for any shade garden. This grass does really well in moist, well-draining spaces. It gets about 12 inches tall to 18 inches tall and wide, and in time it forms a nice big clump of this mounding grass, and in the fall time produces a very light, airy pink seed head. Hakone can be used many ways in the garden. For instance, it forms a really nice edge or border plant to your garden due to the fact that it stays nice and compact. Another use is to break up some of the broad leaves or green leaves within your shade garden.
This is really unique grass because it's like shade. It's really unusual. It looks gorgeous all season. It's low maintenance. It's like water. This is like diamond in your garden.
So all this that we have here is called Hakone, also known as Japanese forest grass. It has a nice feathery texture that can be like 2 to 3 feet all the way around. It's a great grass to utilize for shady areas where the soil is really rich in organic material and very moist.
Si lo pueden ver, está en color amarillo y verde. Es el único color que podamos tener en la sombra.
Hakone Grass adds wonderful movement to any garden as it lilts in the wind. And while it does add movement to your garden, it prevents the movement of your soils, as it is wonderful at erosion control. Also, if you're looking for a perennial to put in a pot, this is a wonderful option.
Now that you know how great Hakone Grass is for your garden, come and get them before they're gone. Up next, we're talking about a fragrant fall favorite here at Bountiful Gardens, sweet autumn clematis. Most clematises bloom in late spring to early summer and don't really have much of a scent. However, sweet autumn clematis blooms in late summer to early fall and smells like a wonderful aroma of honey. Autumn clematis, unlike some other clematis species, blooms on new wood, which means you can cut it all the way down to the ground in early spring and still get these beautiful, amazing flowers this time of year. They can grow up to 30 feet long, which means if you want to put autumn clematis in your yard, make sure you give it a big space to grow up on or a pergola or arbor so that it has enough space to grow and climb.
Look like beautiful this autumn sweet clematis. It's really nice flower and attract butterfly and pollinator, and you can catch your eyes in your garden for these flowers.
Sweet autumn clematis, it's great for trellises. It's also great for other structures where you can let it climb. Another thing is that they don't like too much sun, so it's important to put it in a dappled area.
Se lo pueden chequear, pues aquí está la flor tan linda, fácil de mantenimiento, no necesita mucho trabajo para que lo puedas mantener en buenas condiciones. Solamente eso se regresa cada año, la flor es tan linda y te mantiene una fragancia tan linda también.
In addition to being a climber, sweet autumn clematis can also be trained along the ground to create a very fragrant ground cover. And they're deer and rabbit resistant, so you don't have to worry about those pesky little bunny rabbits. With them being a late season bloomer, they also are great for feeding our late season pollinators.
Don't miss this opportunity to get this beautiful fragrance in your garden. Now that you've learned a little bit more about ferns, Hakone Grass, and sweet autumn clematis, we hope that you'll be able to find a home for all three of them in your garden. Thanks again for watching another Bountiful Gardens video. And if you like this one, make sure to give it a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.